Welcome to the show. My guest today is Ashley Bugge. She's a polar explorer and author of the book titled The Ocean is Calling. Today, she shares with us about her upcoming expedition to Antarctica, and her 9-year-old daughter, Izzy, joins us, talking about their expedition traveled last year as mother and daughter to Honduras, where they studied whale sharks. Thank you so much for being here, Ashley.
Thank
As
you.
I said, you're one of my favorite people to have on at least once a year because you always have something new to share. So thank you for coming on the show, and we have some exciting stuff, and we'll see your daughter here in just a few minutes. So thank you. So we're going to talk about your daughters and your expedition to Honduras. We're going to talk about that next segment with Izzy joining us. But let's just refamiliarize the audience with you, Ashley, your story, and all of the things that you decided to keep doing that you almost gave up along the way when you lost your husband.
Okay.
You go ahead.
There.
You go right ahead.
Lisa. Yeah. So, a little backstory, I guess, for those who aren't familiar. I'm a military widow. My husband died in a scuba diving accident in 2018. He was an officer in the U.S. Navy, and just a series of unfortunate events led to him drowning on a scuba diving training dive while we were living in Hawaii. I am also a diver and was a diver, but when he passed away, I was 6 months pregnant with my youngest daughter, and I had a 1 and a 3-year-old at home. So on top of kind of all the trauma and figuring out, I guess, how to do life as a pregnant widow in that moment, I also thought I had to give up this really incredible part of my life, which was diving. And this was something that my husband and I learned to do together, just had big hopes and dreams for along the way. And then thought, I can't dive anymore. If I dive, I will die. And then I will leave all 3 of my kids as orphans. So that lasted. I gave birth. I moved away from Hawaii. And then about 9 months after he passed away, I was planning a memorial dive for him and thought there is nothing better, like a better gift I can give myself and my kids than to do this memorial dive and to place my husband's ashes back in the ocean where he passed away. So, that was that. The 1-year anniversary, I flew to Hawaii and I participated in his memorial dive, and it was my first dive back in the water. And since then, my resume of scary things has grown. So I have since then gone on to write a couple books. I've released a documentary, and I've become a polar explorer, which is now one of my favorite titles. And actually, as of about a month from now, I will get to call myself a bipolar explorer, which maybe has poor connotations, but it just means that I have explored both poles of the world.
Not in your world, right? It's a really good thing in your world.
Yeah, it's a great, exciting thing. I
was looking at your website, at your Facebook page, and it says Polar Explorer, Master Diver, Social Scientist.
Yes. Yeah. I have to say, all the
people, when they go through a loss like what you've endured, there's a big pivot that happens where a lot of things have to change. Maybe your geography, maybe your job, maybe whatever it is. And for you, I almost feel like while there has to be a pivot when you lose your husband and you're raising children by yourself and all of the things that implies and entails, I almost feel like for you, your life got bigger in a way. The pivot was more like a dive, more like, no pun intended, but more like a dive into the life that you two might have explored, might not. There might be opportunities that you've had in his absence you may not have had in his presence. And I know from experience at times, sometimes people hear me say that or say that to me, and I think, well, I don't want to dismiss Wesley's life as I'm a widow too, but aren't we supposed to make the most beautiful life we can, no matter the circumstances, no matter our losses, or sometimes not in spite of them, but because of the losses?
Yeah, I had that exact same kind of epiphany. Like once, it's a process though, as you know, as well. Yeah, you live in this cloud of grief and self-doubt and, potentially really hard things, and you don't see outside of that. And once you just kind of get the tiniest sliver or glimpse of light outside of that darkness, you just, I think of it as like a snake emerging from its like egg, like you pip, and then you just kind of like, all right, what's out here? And yeah, that's exactly what happened. I emerged and I thought his death could have very easily killed both of us. It was in no uncertain terms, very close to it. And what a waste. What a waste for my life, what a waste for my kids. And I just decided, no, like I have all this opportunity. I have all this like drive. Have seen firsthand how quickly it can all end. And I want to really, there's like that saying, live every day of this as if it's your last. And people say it all the time, but don't put any like stock into it. And I have decided to do the exact opposite. And so everyone's like, you don't sit still. And I'm like, I really don't. I don't want there to be a day that I wasn't like, I accomplished this today. And then I'm working towards bigger things. So yeah, that's landed me with that resume of master diver and polar explorer and social scientist. I'm working on my doctorate program now.
I think too, one of the things that what draws me to your story and stories like it is that what a gift that you are a storyteller, because I know that there are people who have overcome insurmountable odds and it's just for them, or it's just for their family, or just for their immediate life, the people in their life. And that's a beautiful thing too.
Yeah.
And then there's people like you who is a storyteller, and we get to learn from your losses and your lessons from those losses. And so in a moment, we'll have your daughter Izzy on. And I've met each of your kids through like the back of the screen when we've talked over times, when we've even visited on Zoom, not reporting the show. And I want to hear from her. She doesn't know the difference, right? She
doesn't.
She will someday. My son's almost 25, and he knows about trying to just live the best life you can.
Yeah.
And I don't think he understands. I mean, that's just how we live our lives, right? And trust me, I'm not a diver. I'm not a polar explorer, but I really try to take care of my own little corner of the world.
Yeah.
And that's I think pretty much what we're meant to do. And if we get to go and do some extraordinary things, that's great too. So let's take a break. We will talk with you and your daughter when we come back. We're talking with Ashley Bugge, and her daughter Izzy will be joining us in just a moment. Thank you for being here, Izzy. Have you been on television before?
No.
Okay, well, this is your first time. Well, your mom's going to help you do a great job. So let's just talk a little bit about just the opportunity you had. First of all, Ashley, why don't you tell us where you went and how the opportunity came up? And then Izzy, you can tell us a little bit about the expedition.
Yeah. So a good friend of mine, actually one of my dive partners here in the Pacific Northwest, she does a lot of work down in Utila, Honduras. And she was putting together a whale shark research expedition down in Honduras. And she invited me to come on down, and I kind of thought about it and said, I want my kids to grow up being exposed to the same stuff that I do, and why would I not? Like, who gets to do some of this stuff? And so I talked it over with Iz and said, hey, would you want to go on this expedition? We'll be out in the ocean. We'll be studying whale sharks and, swimming and looking for them and doing some fun stuff too. And she said, yeah. So that was it.
What were your expectations? What did you think it would be like when you just said yes? What were you hoping you would experience, Izzy?
like when she was like talking to me about it, she said that like we would see like dolphins and like whale sharks, like a bunch of like cool like marine life. And so I thought that that was like kind of like cool that I would like maybe be able to like see a bunch of those like animals.
And had you seen many of them before?
Um, I mean like in like aquariums, like not like whale sharks or dolphins, just like fish kind of.
Like in captivity, but not out in any form where you were studying them or even seeing them out in the wild?
Like whenever we go to Hawaii, I see like fish in like the like ocean, like if I go like snorkeling, but like I don't like see them like um
Yes. In
yeah.
like in real in your everyday life.
Yeah.
So then, Ashley, you have 3 children. And what made you decide, hey, Izzy, do you want to go? Or how do you decide? I only have the only child, so it's just, we're going somewhere, we're going somewhere.
Yeah. So part of what I have decided I want to do as a mom, because I'm a single solo parent, is I want to take each of my kids on a trip, just me and them every year. And I plan to do that hopefully the rest of our lives. And so every year, typically each of the kids gets to pick a location that they want to go on their girls trip or boys trip with their mom. This year, this just happened to be Izzy's girl trip. This is what came up. So that's where we decided to go on it.
As girl trips go, Izzy, so how close was the experience to what you hoped it would be? You get excited about a vacation, adults do too. And I talked to your mom before she went on this trip and she was very excited. So how did it meet the expectation? What was it like for you once you got there?
I really liked it. I enjoyed the trip a lot and it was really fun. Like I think it was like pretty close to my expectations. It was really fun.
Was there anything tiring about it or anything that seemed hard work? Like it was hard work?
No, but sometimes like after we would like get on the boat, my like I get really bad motion sickness, so that was kind of I didn't like.
Yeah, we were there during a big storm. So there were a couple times where kind of everyone on the boat was like, "Oh, this is a lot." We're like in the water, and the whale sharks are a ways from shore, so we had to be out there. So yeah, there was a little bit of that.
And Izzy, of all the things you did out there, what would you say is the one highlight? What was the best part about it?
I liked going on the boat a lot. And snorkeling.
What about Swampy? You want to tell them about Swampy?
Oh yeah, we got to go to this like iguana sanctuary, I'm pretty sure, and they had this one iguana where not to say, but like we got to like feed the iguanas and we would like make like fresh like fruit and stuff for them. And it was really fun. And there was this one, his name was Swampy, and he like we got to like well, not like pet him, but like we got to like say hi to him and stuff. Like he came out of his cage and it was really fun.
And Izzy got to prepare his lunch, and he was like, do you remember how old he was?
I think he
ancient.
was really old.
Yeah, like very, very, very
like
old.
50 or
yeah, they like
he was like, I think 16. No, he was like 70.
Yeah, he's old. We can find out.
Old in lizard, old in iguana years.
Yeah,
not in people years.
She also did a plastic beach cleanup one day, which for those familiar with Utila, the way the currents all work, all the plastic comes from the mainland from the ocean. The currents bring it and wash it ashore on Utila. So these just beautiful, pristine beaches are covered in microplastics and plastics. And so Izzy went out one morning with me and we just went and did big beach clean. And that was like a
that pretty eye-opening for you, Izzy, to see all of that trash? What did you think of that?
I thought it was kind of like, it's like we do like beach cleanups like here every now and then, but it wasn't like as bad as it is here. Like it was really like, there was a lot. It was a lot.
Makes you pay attention to where you put your stuff when you're done with it, right? Yeah. Well, I'm glad you got to be on my show and that this was your first experience. You did a really great job. And I'm sure that you'll go on many different explorations in your lifetime. So you're welcome to come back and share it anytime you like with your mom.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And you're going to stick around, Ashley, and we're going to talk about what's coming next for you. We'll be back in just a moment. We're back talking with Ashley Bugge. So we talked with your daughter, Izzy. Thanks for letting her be on the show. She did a great job.
So cute.
You're the author of a book, The Ocean is Calling. We talked about your resume, polar explorer, social scientist, and master diver. You're getting ready to go on another big expedition, Antarctica. I have to look at my list here because there's so much. So you're going to Antarctica in just a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So tell us what that involves. First of all, how did that opportunity come up? So we can just kind of live vicariously through you.
Yeah, I know. It blows my mind sometimes, honestly, to even have these conversations because I'm like, who is this person? Like, literally, my kids are upstairs arguing with each other about who knows what. Like, that's the real life behind all of these titles.
Yeah, we were talking about skincare with your 9-year-old daughter before we started recording. So yeah, that's the real life. But this is also real life for you.
Yes.
And it's pretty exciting. So how did this opportunity come up?
So last time I was on the show, I think I had just got back from an Arctic expedition where I was diving with killer whales. And on that expedition, I just met the most incredible people. It's a team of all women. There was 12 of us from all different countries of the world. And because, we're on this research vessel in the middle of the ocean, having just this once in a lifetime experience, we all just really bonded and have stayed in touch ever since. And so a friend of mine is a very big polar photographer and filmmaker. And she posted something on social media about a trip she was doing to Antarctica. And I messaged her and said, hey, I have a team. Do you need any support down there? And she said, yes. And she said, we're going to be on this vessel and we are working with someone studying jellyfish and sea star wasting disease, and we could certainly use it. And so I contacted my team and said, hey, there's this opportunity. What do you guys think? And almost everyone said, we'll be there. And so we've just been planning since then. That was probably, maybe 6 months ago or so. And then we've just been planning and coordinating, and we have this WhatsApp group chat that just blows up all hours of the night because we are all over the place. And yeah, so now we will meet back up. For the most part, we all meet in Buenos Aires and then fly on to Ushuaia, Argentina, board our research vessel. And so our team, there's 7 of us from the 12 that are going, and then we are meeting up, and we're a group of 111 heading out to do this research. Yeah.
Wow. And you'll be gone for how long?
About 3 weeks.
3 weeks. So when we talk about one of your titles being social scientist, how does that apply to you in the work you're doing in your doctorate program? And how does it, there are some doctorate programs that you're very hands-on and you have a wealth of knowledge from hands-on knowledge, and other times not so much. And this is the one that you're really getting to participate in firsthand.
Yeah, it was kind of a roundabout way to do this. I had to spend a lot of time convincing my school and my coordinator basically for my program that I could take 3 weeks off from this program to go do this because it directly supports the research that I'm doing. So my doctorate is in leadership, but I'm studying the intersection of human and ocean systems. So basically, how can people enjoy our oceans, be a part of them, but also keep them safe? And so looking at human behavior and human interaction, especially with marine mammals. Yeah. So basically, I just said, this is what I want to do. I have this opportunity. I can use this research that I'm doing out there to directly support this. Please, can I go?
I bet you learned a lot about yourselves too. 111, you said?
Yeah.
People all going out together on this vessel, having their own fields of study, having their own interests and reasons for being there.
Yeah.
How have you learned more about yourself and your interaction with the people you travel the world with?
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest part of it really is like we are a team coming to a bigger team. And so how do all of these like interpersonal dynamics work together to support physical research? Like there's the social science, but then there's the hard science, and they're meshing in the middle somewhere. And so just for me, being cognizant of my role in that and what do I bring to be a part of this team. Like, I don't have a hardy background in the hard sciences, which is the reason that we're out there, but I do have a background in social sciences. I have a master's in human behavior. I have a bachelor's in history and leadership. And so it's kind of melding the two worlds together and just working together to kind of bring a team together. That's like the best part of all of this, is we are all out there because we have a shared passion for our oceans. We have a shared passion for exploration and adventure. This is a potentially dangerous, expedition that we're doing. And so everyone, it's not like going, getting on the plane and going to Hawaii where everyone's on vacation. Like, we're out there for a very specific goal. We are out there understanding we need to take care of each other and be alert for each other. And we need to work together as a team to accomplish these goals of saving our oceans. So it's just really finding my place within that, and what do I contribute, and what is my goal within the greater goal.
This is kind of a big question for only having a minute and 20 seconds left. But I want to know, as it applies, we actually have, 1.5, how it applies to you as a mother. Like, you grow each time I talk to you. I see it in you. I see it in what I read about you. How has it changed you or impacts you for the better as you grow as a single widowed mom to your 3 children?
Yeah, in the craziest way, it goes like right up the middle. It's like, I so want my kids, I want this to be their baseline. Like, I want this culture of expeditions and exploration and science. I want that to be like, we just grew up doing it. Like, that wasn't weird. We don't think our mom is cool. She's our mom, and she's embarrassing, and she honks the horn, and it's awkward. And, she does these things. But I also, it's hard to leave too, because I'm giving up time with the kids, and I still am, like, first and foremost a mom. Like, mom wasn't on that resume, but it's like my defining role within all of that. And so it's really hard to even take these 3 weeks and go chase after this life goal, because I'm leaving the kids, and what if I die? That leaves them orphans. And that was a really selfish thing of me to do. And yeah, it's balance. It's finding the balance of what is important to me, what makes me fulfilled as a person, and what do I want to instill in my kids so that when they grow up, as they grow up, they have these tools and experiences as part of their resume that they don't even see as a part of it. It's just who they are.
Just who they are. Well, I wish you safe travels. And I know you'll go there and have an amazing time and come back. That's what I wish for you every time you go. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing, and for all the good footage. I love sharing the pictures and the video and everything. I like to show the story and tell the story. So thank you for being here, Ashley.
You do a great job. And I always love coming on here and getting to share. So thank you.
I'll see you next time.